You will never find your style on Pinterest if you're just saving someone else's body, and if you're only saving clothes. Hear me out. I learned that style doesn't come from clothes. It comes from what you are inspired by outside of literal cloths. Do not look at a shirt. Do not look at a skirt. Do not look at anything that is a person wearing clothes. Look at everything else, and that's how you will find your style. The moment I realized style inspo does not come from clothes was when I was watching one of my favorite Barbie movies, A Fashion Fairy Tale. She was my first example that everything around you can tell you a lot about what you like and do not like, and how that translates into your wardrobe. I watched that movie when I was a little girl, and it didn't fully click with me at the time. But I do remember registering that I was really fascinated how she was so able to look at everything around her with such wonder and curiosity and create art from there. And her art was clothes. That was very fascinating to me as a creative individual. I kind of forgot about that message until a year ago, where it just kind of clicked back again when I was asking myself, how do I find my style? How do I connect with me again? Like, I feel like everybody else knows how to dress themselves, and here I am looking like a potato sack, not knowing what the hell to do. I'm tired. I don't like these trends. I don't like this. I don't like the cottagecore. I don't like the this. Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what to do. And then it clicked. And it clicked in many different subtle ways until I finally got the bigger picture. And when you have those late night thoughts and you're connecting the dots and the final literal message pops into your head, I feel like that's what happened with me, because before it hit me, I remember looking at flowers, like a garden, and just being so in love with how it looked and just thinking, I love how that feels to me, and I want to present myself that way. I remember looking at fruits and being inspired by how they make me feel, how they taste, how they smell. And same thing with being outside, like when I'm hiking or hanging out with friends, or my daily activities, how I dress myself with my lifestyle and how my lifestyle requires me to dress, where I am, what I want. Just little things started to come together until I had that epiphany of, my style is in what I like, not what I am saving on Pinterest, especially on someone else's body. I don't think I'm a thrifting connoisseur. I actually think I suck at thrifting. It is very hard for me to be able to look at a piece and see a vision. I've had to train myself to do that. And in order for me to train myself to do that, I've had to really, really learn. And I'm still learning what I like, what looks good on me, what I gravitate to the most, and honestly, why? Why do I like that to begin with? Why does it make me feel good in the first place? Why? There's something very important about being curious about it. Yeah, I have gone through a lot of phases of how to dress myself, how to style myself. And so a lot of us young, we jump onto trends. Oh my God, I remember when I was a streetwear girl. Ugh, yikes. I don't know if I want to put pictures up there for that. And no hate for the streetwear girls. I love how you guys rock that. But I really was trying to wear something that I know now, and I think I knew then, that I just was not vibing with. I was trying to be someone that I was not. I was never a streetwear girly. Dude, I was suffering. I don't know if I want to post pictures because it was rough. It was rough out here. Let me tell you that. After streetwear, I teetered into baddie. This is kind of when I was exploring with my sexuality, my femininity, the two together, the two separate. Teenagers, especially girls, unfortunately go through this baddie era phase, which is just really cropped tops and showing nalgas and, the things that when you walk out of the house, your mama's going to be yelling at you for, And then from there, I did a complete 180 and I went full soft girl princess. I was wearing dresses all the time. I would wear crowns. I still have my crowns to this day and I really love wearing them. I just haven't debuted them in a while. But I literally would walk out with crowns. I was almost dressing up I was cosplaying like a real life princess, okay? I felt like I was constricting myself yet again in a box, the same way I was doing it with streetwear and with baddie wear. There was at one point where I was so sick of color and I thought, you know what? I want to be like a clean, just neutral girl. like, and I was shopping for muted tones, like muted browns and beiges, and I lost color in my closet. And I remember feeling so lost with myself every time I would dress up. I hated how I looked. I felt like I looked so washed out. I didn't look like me. I didn't like how I was presenting myself. It was not resonating with me at all. I couldn't figure out what it was. Even though it was staring at me right in the face, I just couldn't figure out why I hated how I looked. So if you are a little bit confused as to how to find this yourself, because you're like, what do you mean it's outside of what I like, outside of my style? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do you mean you looked at a fruit and you were like, yes, that's what I'm going to wear? Let me explain. My favorite flower is a sunflower. I love, love, love sunflowers. And one day I gave more thought to it and I realized I love sunflowers because I love the color yellow, but specifically how vibrant that yellow is. And I tie it to the sun. I tie it to my Leo rising. I tie it to how I present myself as a star to the world, right? But also sunflowers to me represent how I feel towards the sun. I love the way the flower looks for the sun, is gravitated to the light. I love having these colors in my closet because when I put them on, especially when I'm not feeling my best, when I really just don't want to try or when I'm struggling, and because a diva sometimes is down, it is what it is. A baddie has her moments. I put color on my body and it reinforces the message of standing proud, like making yourself happy with vibrancy on you. The world around you will be dull and gray, but you will be the vibrant flower. Guavas, mangoes, pineapples, and other rich tropical fruits. And I specifically said their colors, their sweetness and taste, and their bold flavors, etc. And I'm just fascinated that nature can create such gorgeous colors. In a way, I want to be able to bring that into what I represent. I also get inspired by how they look. So I combine like the green of a guava and the pink. So I love green and pink. That combo is one of my favorite combos. Literally, my bed is green and pink. My couch is green. I have like a shoe cabinet that's pink. My phone is pink. I literally have a box I'm looking at right now that is green and pink. When I realized that one of my favorite color combos is green and pink, I ran with that. And I learned it from the fruits. I looked at nature and I saw the color combo that nature naturally created. And I was like, hell yeah. I agree. That yellowish purse that's kind of like in the green area. I have the reds on me, the skirt and the top. You see the oranges and then the greens in my skirt. You see the oranges with my heels. I was really inspired by a mango and look at what I was able to create. But like if I can look at fruits and find my color scheme and my color combos and what I like to wear, you can also do that too. Like I'm so serious. I think I sound a little bit crazy, but just trust me, like you really find your style in the things that you like, in the things that bring you happiness and joy and are reoccurring things in your life. You don't find it by looking at other people's clothes. Hey, what used to bring us joy before the noise of the world consumed us? What used to really bring us that excitement in life? What made us look at the world so big before we started being told to be small? I remember that one of my favorite pastimes was exploring the creek by our house in Puerto Rico, and I would collect little cute rocks, and some of them were orange, some of them were this beautiful terracotta brown, some of them were black or gray, white. I love finding these stones, and it made me think, I kind of want to wear that on me. I like finding bracelets that way. So here's an example. Because of the moon, I have experimented with mixed metals. I gravitate to gold more than I do to silver, but I think I have realized I like combining specks of silver. It's like almost specks of stars. The moon makes me think about jewels, jewel tones. And so I kind of like to play with jewel tones when it comes to my accessories. I don't really play with jewel tones with my clothes. I don't think I look good with jewel blues, jewel greens, emerald greens. I think I stay close to a very spring, very pastel color. I also like mismatching earrings. Because of the sun and the moon, I like wearing a star or a moon, like a crescent and a sun on one side. I really like doing that. And I did more of finding myself that way than all of the years combined with all of the Pinterest boards that I have saved up with all of these different clothes. Now, I will say, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it is good to have an idea, and it is a good first level of starting, like a beginner starter. But now my Pinterest boards are curated based on the things that I like. You feel me? Like, I think you should find your blueprint, like what your skin tone is, your color, what works with that. Like, and the blueprint also means, how do I like to smell? How do I like to do my hair? I used to think I had to do like really heavy contour, da da da. No, I just realized I actually don't really care about contouring. I don't like contouring. It doesn't really do anything for my face. I like the way my face is. I like bronzer, I like highlighter, and I like something that makes my face look really bright and open. I understood once I started learning that, I'm like, okay, well, my mane is really important. I've given myself short haircuts, and I don't really like the way short hair looks on me. I think I look prettier with longer hair, but I also think that it depends on how my hair is styled. To me, what definitely worked for me was finding the inspiration in items, finding the inspiration in my past likes and what my inner child really enjoys, a piece of advice that once you figure out what you like and how you can start connecting that to yourself, now start creating almost like a style deck. Create a style deck that you can pull from every day. And that takes the effort and the exhaustion of thinking, okay, how do I want to dress? How do I want to present myself? And what I mean by that is, if I know that let's say I'm struggling, I'm just not having a good time, I don't really want to fake it. I can't fake it by wearing some big ass outfit that is very bold and commanding. And right now I feel just very drained, So I pull from my style deck for my daily life. My daily life consists of very just easy, chill outfits that I get to put together, like 2 pieces, 3 pieces together. And then I get to have fun with the accessories. Style deck to me is the same as a content deck. When you are creating content and you batch create all these ideas and scripts and thumbnails, if you're that serious about it, that's kind of how I see a style deck, where I just have created, some people save it in their notes. They take pictures of their outfits and save it in their notes, and so they categorize it by daily outfits, going out outfits, etc., gym outfits, whatever. I do the same. I don't put it in my notes. I have just created it visually and then just kind of put it in my head. I will say that right now what I'm working on is how I present myself at work. I am struggling a lot with the clothes that I want to wear at work. My work is very, very casual. They don't really care. I mean, obviously don't pull up with your pajamas and stuff and looking like a hot mess, but they're really, really casual. But I think it has been affecting how I present myself at work. I really want to find the character that I want to be when I'm at my 9 to 5, because I like separating 9 to 5 version of me and the me that is personal and out in the streets having fun. I want to, not that I'm trying to be somebody else entirely, but I do want to be a different version of me at work, because I am not, the person that I am now is not who I am at work. You feel me? I'm a professional version of me. We all have different sides of ourselves that we present to different groups. And at work, I have to be very professional. I can't wear some of the things that I have. I do not have professional clothing. My clothes show my midriff, dude, my shoulders, my ankle. I have to have some form of color. But I think for work me, I'm going to be inspired more so by the little touches. And I have a full monochromatic outfit, but there's a pop of red or maybe a pop of pink. I just recently got a work bag and separated my fun bags, because I used to take my fun bags to work and I had to carry 5 different bags because not everything could fit. And now I have my work bag, and this has a built-in lunchbox, dude. It's right here. That is crazy. Cute. It's so chic. It's brown. It's this type of brown that pairs so well with everything. I didn't want to get a black purse because I felt again, that was just going to take the fun out of everything. And it's just so easy to go with black. I was either going to go with burgundy or with this brown, but I think this brown would pair really well with many colors in comparison to burgundy, because then burgundy was just going to limit me. But that's what I'm saying. I am slowly curating different versions of me and the styles of different versions of me. So I have been able to get down my personal version, but now my professional self needs work. And then on top of that, I am still working on my fall and my winter attire because, oh my God, I hate dressing myself when it's cold. But I also know that if I do not try, I'm going to fall into a slump that's going to be so detrimental to my mental health. And so that's what I'm currently working on. Like, who is me in my winter season? Like, how can I make myself feel great and me without making myself exhausted more than I already am because of the seasonal depression? You feel me? And maybe I could do a part 2, like specifically about makeup and hair. I'm still learning about my hair, actually. Stop saving someone else's look and body on your Pinterest board. You're never going to be able to find your branding, your identity, your style based on someone else's trend. You cannot look at fashion to be able to create your own fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to look elsewhere. Your inspiration will not come from clothes itself when you're trying to create your wardrobe. It's just not going to happen. You have to look outside of that, and then that's when your wardrobe, your style, the way you present yourself, your makeup, your hair, everything, that's when it will all connect. Now it's your turn to connect with yourself, find inspiration, and create your style deck. And anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is Savannah Styles, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.